If you have credit card debt, do not skip this video because I'll show you how you could potentially save thousands of pounds in the short term, and if you don't do anything, it will cost you tens of thousands of pounds over your lifetime. I'll be using my web tools to show you how I calculated these numbers and explain the process along the way. By the way, that is why I haven't been posting videos lately, as I have been busy coding these tools. That, and I've been traveling, but more on that later in the video. Right, let's get back to how credit card debt can derail your finances. And no, I'm not talking about debt spiraling out of control. Here's a common misconception. People often think that as long as you're not struggling with debt repayments, things are fine. In fact, I'll show you how even a scenario where credit card debts seem under control, that is not a great situation to be in. Let's say you have a small amount of credit card debt, for example £1,000, and you repay the minimum required that would clear in just under 4 years. The minimum payment would initially start at £44 for the first month, then go down as you clear your balance. Now, let's assume you have a much larger amount of debt, say £10,000. Well, under the same repayment method, that is minimum repayment, it would take about 12 years to clear. Your first initial repayment would be around £438 for the first month, then gradually fall. But 12 years? I was surprised when I first saw this. Why does it take that much longer? What's happening is basically this: when you repay your credit card, part of it goes towards interest repayment and part goes towards repayment of the actual debt, which is also known as principal. Interest accrues every month, so any money going towards paying the interest is kind of useless since it's not really improving the situation. It's really the amount that goes towards the principal repayment that really matters and will take you out of debt. And you got it, the more debt you have, the more interest you pay. What's worse is that using minimum repayment keeps your principal repayment as low as possible, which in turn means you keep paying interest for longer, and that's why you don't see the debt clearing as fast as possible. To illustrate this, let's go back to our 10k debt situation, but say now instead of paying the minimum, which starts at £438 for the first month, you decide to pay a fixed amount every month. This amount will be exactly the same amount every single month. Let's round that amount to £500 as a nice round figure. So with £500 a month, guess how long it'll take you to clear that debt? Less than 12 years for sure, but how many? 10 years? 9 years? 8? 5 surely? Try 2. Yes, 2 years only instead of 12. But where is all that money going then? Let me run this in 2 scenarios, one where the user uses minimum repayment and the other where the user pays a fixed £500 per month as mentioned. This is the comparison between the two, and as you can see, you'd have paid about £5,500 more in interest only. And if that's not bad enough, let me put this in a wider context. Say this person is 40 years old, and surely that's plenty of time to slowly clear the debt before retirement, right? Well, it is, but here's what it'll cost that person. I'm going to run these 2 scenarios in my life planning tool and show you the difference. Over the person's lifetime, this results in a net wealth difference of almost £60,000. And the younger you are, the worse it is. That's putting more risk on your retirement. That's why it's critical to tackle credit card debt as soon as possible. Now, this won't apply if you're using credit cards smartly. For example, if you're clearing the full balance every month, or using a 0% promotional offer, or even credit card stoozing, whereby you earn interest on savings while shifting expenses in 0% credit cards. But otherwise, you really want to avoid repaying the minimum, as it is costing you more than just interest, but potentially your retirement options. That's the main takeaway from this video. Now, let's move on to something different. Back in 2019, I was clueless about personal finance, and needless to say my finances weren't looking too good. I thought I was too young to think about retirement, and basically I was not paying attention to my financial path in life. It took a wake-up call to make me take things seriously and start learning. I started YouTube back then to learn and share what I found in the hopes that it might help others in the same situation. I'm more of a numbers guy, so I also started building tools to make things easier, and this is how Questula was born. My vision for Questula is to build a community to help people with their personal finances by using tools and numbers rather than generic advice, which is often difficult to quantify. Using numbers and calculators, I want people to really see the financial impact of their choices. Questula comprises of two parts, the newly launched Questula forum and Questula calculators. The latter has a premium feature which gives you access to more advanced tools, but also helps fund my work, that is YouTube, the forum and the server costs for Questula. I've got a lot more amazing things in the pipeline that I want to bring to you, but again these cost money, and that's why premium members are vital for this project to go on. As I'm launching Questula, everything including the premium components will be free until 30th of June 2025. Everyone can try my tools out and leave feedback on the forums or even discuss the results there. I'll be there and looking forward to seeing you. Until then, here's some pictures from my last trip in Taiwan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.